Welcome back. We are chugging right along. Time for some Mage, and I have not seen this card, and this is a fucking wonky fucking card. What the hell? Wasn't there a druid spell that did almost the exact same thing? It was like a melon. This is the Mage Melon. I guess it's a lot different than Melon because you're getting a copy of the 7, 8, 9, and 10 in your deck to your hand rather than drawing them. Is that better or worse? I guess it's better, right? Because then you can still use your like ice tower. Draw 4 for 4, but they're all fat cards. Oh, this is hard to evaluate. I don't think this helps Big Spell Mage really to any significant degree. It's not like the deck was lacking in value. It was lacking in the ability to survive and win. This card is silly. I want to play it. I want to cast like 8,000 8-mana cards, but you're just not going to get to do this. I don't think this even goes in your decks because Ice Tower can cast this itself. I'm pretty sure this is really bad. It's a 1. It's a shameful 1. I'm so sorry. Now we get to some good stuff. Holy guacamole. Look at this fucking shivering sorceress. 1 mana 2/2. Reduce the cost of the highest cost spell in your hand by 1. I've been saying for so long. I mean, all of us have. Even Zacho. He's like, can Mage get a fucking minion? And here we go. 2 back-to-back juicy ass 4. I don't care if you're even playing Big Spell Mage. You just put this in there, man. That is a good ass card. It even like a Fire Sale or a, I don't know. Chloe, do you mind? Cats, man. In fact, I didn't notice in the last video that there is a sleeping cat on the bed back there. I am pointing at it. Anyways, this card's fantastic. Thank Yogg for the juicy mage minions we're finally getting. Here's the other one. This one's even better. And look at this art. This is a sexy card. Battlecry, your next hero power costs 0 and freezes the target on a 2-mana 2/3? Are you kidding me? Literally, like, I think this is like a 5. You just slam this in there, man. Maybe I'm just on copium because I don't want Quest Mage to whoop my ass anymore. I really like this card. I really like both of these mage minions. They feel flavorful, they feel good, they feel logical, and they feel like they have a nice flow, and they do cool mage things. Thank you, Blizzard. We got some good shit. Freezing motherfuckers with your hero power. You put this in Wildfire Mage. You put this in Big Spell Mage if it somehow works. You put this in your fucking soup and you drink it up, alright? Okay, Rune of the Archmage. Archmage, I don't know. Probably that's how you spell it. Pronounce it. I'm so hyped up by the mage cards that I'm just babbling complete nonsense over here. Okay. 9 mana, 20 mana worth of mage spells. I still can't believe this is a thing. It's so absurd. Varden looks cool as hell in it. I'm pretty sure this is actually good. We all spent a lot of time trying to build this deck. I have no clue what it'll actually look like when we're finished with it. But I think that you can build a deck around this card and it will be actually reasonable. Because but we're operating under the assumption that playing this means like you basically completely shit all over your opponent and can win the game soon after. But it's possible, you know, obviously there's going to be outlier cases where you play this and you just, like, cast Ice Blood Tower or whatever, and that's half of this card on something that is not going to actually help you. But usually this is going to draw cards, generate stuff, clear some minions, probably fire some damage at their face. Like, it's just, I think a deck where the only point is to cast this card could be reasonable. So I'm giving it a 3. Magister Dawn Grasp. Wonderful art, for sure. Recast a spell from each spell school you've cast this game. I underrated the Stormwind Mage stuff really hard, and I don't want to do it again. But I don't see it. Because most right now the mage spells you want to cast are all like cheap stuff. Like what is this going to be recasting? I mean, the dream of trying to play this in big spell mage is hilarious. Just write that off right away. That is not. I don't think so. The hero power's okay, but why would I play this when I can just start igniting you in the ass and just like let's scale that up rather than fiddle with this honorable kill stuff. I think this is like a 2 for me. I really don't see it. Like I get what's the best case right now? You get a fat arcane, like that 5-mana arcane spell or something. Doesn't it target stuff randomly too? This just seems bad. It's 8 mana. I don't think the hero power is good enough. I don't know. That might come back to bite me. Mass Polymorph is a 1. You will discover that and completely shit on people sometimes, but you're not putting this in your deck. No way. Iceblood Tower, I think is a 2. Because I don't even... We talked about it for a while. I don't even think you want this in the Rune of the Archmage deck. Like, what is the point? Just draw Rune of the Archmage with your Deepwater Evoker and just clumsy courier that. Why do you have this in there? The only way you'd put this in there is if you're shoving the deck full of big spells, in which case your deck is trash. There are no good big spells besides Rune of the Archmage. Deep Freeze sucks. Flame Strike, I guess, is fine. Grand Finale, give me a break. 1/8/8. I don't. That's not gonna cut it. In fact, this is a 1. It's a bummer because Big Spell Mage on paper is a cool deck. This just looks like crap to me, so I don't see it at all. Belinda Stonehearth is kind of neat, but a 6 mana draw 2 is with a 5/5 is clearly not cutting it. Like Cornelius Rome does that and has a higher upside of continuing to draw cards if he survives. So you really need this to become fat from getting gigantic spells. And as I was just talking about, I think you don't run like a bunch of giant spells. And if I'm trying to draw a big spell, I want Deepwater Evoker doing it because I want the armor, because I'm trying to actually survive this crap rather than play a 6 mana 9/9 or something. I think it's a 1. I think it's really bad. Unless we get great big spells, next year or something. Build a Snowman is pretty cute. If there's a world where we can actually play like a tempo mage or whatever, you maybe can fit this in there. It summons like acceptable minions and then continues to add value into your hand. But good lord, like imagine actually spending 9 mana on this. Even just spending 6 mana on this is really sketch. It's super cool and flavorful and interesting, but I don't think it's very good. I think I'm going to go with 2. The base form of it is okay, I think. And maybe it helps like a Frost Mage, because we have that Frost Dungeoneer, right? And like Flowcaster and stuff. That sounds pretty bad though still. It's not quite a 1. Now we get to the card that I just hate. You just can't play like a 3/2 against Mage anymore if this card becomes meta. This is so grossly punishing. Oh. Cats are flopping. Okay. This card is good and I hate it. I think it's like a 3 or 4. I will copium my way down to a 3 because you probably can only play this in like Quest Mage stuff. But it's gonna do some gross nonsense in Quest Mage sometimes. I hate this. So Mage's set has like 2 amazing minions and then some garbage. Maybe Rune of the Archmage gets there. I'm not feeling pretty much anything else. Siphon Mana goes into Quest Mage, probably not much else. Okay, typical for Mage. I really hope these 2 minions like help make other archetypes okay. What in the world are you doing? She wanted to be on video. I always knew she wanted to be like a movie star. Okay. Let's check out Paladin. There's definitely some, like, several new cards in here. I don't know what I'm getting into. Okay. Cavalry Horn. 5 mana, 3/2 weapon. Death Rattle, summon the lowest cost minion in your hand. That is really bad, right? What? Like, it's support for commencement. Say hello to the world. And goodbye. But you gotta equip a 3/2 weapon for 5 mana, swing once, and then swing again. And the minion has to be in your hand. Like, it's not even pulling something out of your deck. A 5 mana 3/2 weapon is truly, truly bad. Like, really, really atrocious. You're just gonna die. There's some okay, like, you know, taunts and stuff that you can pull out of your hand with this that can help you try to get back on board after wasting a turn on this, but I don't even think you play this in Big Paladin. It's bad. That's a 1. That's a shame. Hold the Bridge. Give a minion +2/+1 and lifesteal this turn in Divine Shield. What the fuck? Ugh. That does some things. Wow. Giving stats and Divine Shield and lifesteal is significant. And wait, isn't there... There's a thingy that does a thingy with this. That seems good. Lifesteal is a dangerous keyword. What, isn't this just Apotheosis? Like... Oh, I see. This is cute. They gave it... There's Divine Shield on this, so it's not quite as broken with Samuro. Because you can't Frenzy for the truly insane like lifesteal play. But you can still... This just feels really, really solid. My gut says like a 3, maybe even a 4. It's... Apotheosis got nerfed because giving lifesteal to Samuro in particular was crazy, but Apotheosis was still a good card in general. And even though the Divine Shield ruins the Samuro play, it's still like good in general. 3 or 4. And you can make it 0 with that crazy 3-drop that we're going to look at in a second. It feels like a 4. This is the kind of thing that it can help entire decks come together because lifesteal is such a busted keyword. Protect the Innocent. Summon a 5/5 defender with taunt. If your hero was healed this turn, summon another. What are the ways to heal in Paladin right now? There's a card down here that I hadn't seen before that does, apparently. Obviously, Hold the Bridge can create some healing. This sort of reminds me of that 5 mana 4/4 taunt and Warrior that can copy itself. But I think this is probably worse. I don't know, 10 and taunt is good, but that Warrior card also is good on paper, a lot of people thought, but it just ended up not really being worth the effort. Obviously, just playing this as a 5/5 taunt for 5 by itself is really not cutting it. It feels like maybe like a hesitant 2. It could be 1 status, but I could maybe see this in a sort of control Libram thing. Like, obviously you can Libram of Hope into this or something, but when you Libram of Hope, you're kind of probably shitting on your opponent anyway. I don't know. You don't need, like, more taunt necessarily, but it's a ton of stats. It's interesting. I could see it, maybe. Maybe. What is this? Holy crap, man. They keep giving Paladin, like, crazy good tutoring. This is just nuts, right? Like, Paladin has some very reasonable, cheap spells. You can tutor your damn Libram of Wisdom. Fucking Librams. Bust out a Hand of a Doll, get your Hold the Bridge, and then it costs 0. Like, the body on this isn't good, obviously, but the battle cry is super worth it. It feels like a 4 to me, like, probably going into a lot of decks. Like, a lot of decks. When Hand of a Doll and Libram of Wisdom rotate out, I'm not... I mean, you can even draw, like, Noble Mount. Day of the Fair, that's kind of a meme. I don't believe in that. But you're going to make this work somehow. Vitality Surge. Another tutor card that heals. Draw a minion, restore health to your hero equals its cost. So it's kind of like the Mage Deepwater Evoker, but for minions, and you're not playing this in any deck that has minions cheaper than like 4 mana. So it's questionable. I'm not really feeling it. It seems like a 1 to me. Like, you would have to have a very specific kind of deck. Like, it's cute with Protect the Innocent, I guess, but I don't see, like, a big heal Paladin or something shaping up, personally. Oh, poor Brasswing. That is an awkward stat line. It is a strange effect. You can get this out with your Cavalry Horn. Yeah. Nah. It's... Maybe it heals you for 4 sometimes. There's a ceiling where this, like, clears a board and heals you for 16 or something hilarious, but I just don't think Big Paladin's gonna really get there. Like, playing this, like, deal 2 to all enemies on turn 8 isn't doing it. When you commencement this, like, I'd probably rather just have a Colossus or something coming out. I'm not feeling it. It feels like a 1, which is a shame because the art is sweet and it's just cool looking, but yeah. Sidan the Scarlet, on the other hand, is really good. That's just good. Hand buff. I mean, you obviously played Alliance Bannerman. You're playing the shit out of that always. You played tons of buff spells. You played, I don't know, you can run Thack this bad boy. Imagine getting the buff from 4-Dragon on this. And it's got Rush. So I think this is going to work out in a lot of Paladin decks. Feels like a 4. Templar Captain. Now we're talking about some high potential big stuff. Because this is sick. This comes out. You don't have to, like, do anything fancy like honorable kill or whatever. You're just getting 5/5 taunts every time this attacks. Feels Illidari Inquisitor-ish. Just a different kind of play style. Like, you know, it's going to prolong the game rather than get you towards the end of it, which is worse. Like, this is not as good as Green Rag, but it's good enough that maybe this goes in somewhere. I don't see it going into a Cavalry Horn Vitality Surge package, but if that deck works out, this is going to be a key component. It's even possible that you're just playing this from hand in a deck. It's just good enough. Like, killing stuff and creating so much stats and taunt value. I don't know. So I'm going with like a 3. It's weird because it's hard to imagine necessarily the deck that this goes in, but it's just so good on its own that I feel like it's going to find a home. That's just my gut. Dune Baldar Bridge. After you summon a minion, give it +2/+2. I think this is horrendous. You have to summon a lot of minions, and you're playing 4 mana, do nothing before you do it. Nah, too late, too slow. Lightforged Cariel, that's a 5. I know I was saying deal 2 damage to all enemies this late in the game isn't that good, and it's not really that good, but you're getting that, and you get the 5 armor, and you get this just absurd weapon. I live in fear of a ooze/rust-rot viper meta just because this coming out is so obnoxious. You're basically doubling your health as long as this thing is equipped and you can slap things with it. And the hero power is crazy. Holy moly. Just good luck. Like, if the game drags on after Cariel comes out, they are going to be pumping out so many stats. You're not going to win a long game against this. And it has the ability, like, built in that can make the game go long, and it will clear a chump board when you play it in the first place. This is a crazy, like, maybe #1 best card in the set kind of card. So average only coming out to a 2.6, and that's mostly because I just don't see it with this, like, big Paladin stuff. But there's some good cards. A few good cards keeping this average up, definitely. So let's go to Priest, which I know had some very crazy reveals today that I got a peek of. All right, let's start with Bless. Oh boy. Holy crap. It's Inner Fire that comes with a +2 health. Yup. I think that this is really strong. You can tutor it because it's holy. You can reduce its cost with the Dungeoneer. You have dumb stuff like Frazzled Freshman into this. It's a 6/6 on turn 2. Like, what? That is obnoxious. Priest has been capable of, like, big early plays like that before, and it never panned out, but holy shit. What are you doing against a 6/6 on turn 2 that can attack? He's going to slam you for 6. And then Priest can keep healing it and buffing it and Power Word Feast or whatever else. I don't fucking know. This is nuts. This is scary. I am terrified. I think it's a 5. Get this out of my face. Gift of the Naru. Restore 3 to all characters. If any are still damaged, draw a card. But it can only draw 1 card maximum. That's just okay. I don't think you main deck this, but it's like, it can be a good Wand Maker pool, and you're still playing Wand Maker and Priest decks, some Priest decks probably. If any are still damaged, so your face is probably what's gonna still be damaged most of the time. So it's like 1, it's okay. It's like a 2. I don't think it's a 1. I don't think this really goes into decks. Maybe. This I have not seen. After a friendly minion is healed, give it +2 attack. Luminous Geode. Damn, look at that art. That is sick looking. 2 mana 1/4. That's not that good on turn 2. It's really not. And it's just okay, period. It feels like a 2. I mean, I guess it's cool with Gift of the Naru sometimes, maybe, but that is a generous thing to assume that you're going to have a wide board of damaged things. Unless there's some way to damage your own stuff, but we're not warrior. I don't know. It's like a 2. I could maybe see this. It doesn't really curve well with bless, but it's a reasonable target at some point in the game. Storm Pike Aid Station. At the end of your turn, give your minions +2 health. Wow, they want like a board swarm priest, huh? This seems atrocious to me. So I don't think you're playing this. Like, really? You got to spend 3 mana on this in the first place? What is the best case scenario if you curve this? I don't fucking think that it's going to be any good. I mean, like, did I misspell Storm Pied? I was typing everything really fast when I was making this, so I'm not surprised that I typoed. Obviously on like the next couple of turns, you can get some juiciness out of this, but holy crap, that's slow in a deck that's wanting you to play a bunch of shit. Seems like a 1. This card's so awesome. 5/5 taunt, death rattle, draw a holy and a shadow spell. Yes, sir. Death rattle for Xyrella. It's a taunt, reasonable stat line. Draw 2, tutor stuff. You can build your deck around this. Feels like a card that will get better and better as time goes on and people, figure out the right kind of configuration of cards to play. Obviously, you can't play this in a Benedictus deck, but I think this gets there just somehow. I just think we're going to figure it out. I don't think it's a 4. I think it's a 3. Feels good. Deliverance. This is an interesting one. Some people think this is awful. Some people think this is like a flanking strike for 1 less mana. Some people think it's like Serpent Shrine Portal-ish. I'm feeling it though. I actually think this is pretty good. It's a really, really nice board swing in certain situations. As with just about any honorable kill spell, it's gonna be kind of reliant on certain health breakpoints in the meta. Like, are people going to be playing specific 2/3s or 3/3s? So it's pretty hard really to rate this. I think there's a bunch of 3s on the card, and I think it's a 3. That's kind of neat, but I think it's reasonable. It's when this hits. If this hits on curve, it's fucking busted, man. That is crazy. You just kill a thing and make a 3/3 thing, and sometimes it's even going to have like a death rattle or some other effect attached. That is really, really strong when you get that off. And I could see Priest being able to, hold on to this or something for the right time sometimes too. Like, compare this to that 6 mana spell. I think it's good, actually. Xyrella the Devout. The juicy death rattle payoff. I think this is really good. You have a reasonable amount of death rattles that you can just play. Some of them draw, some of them clear the board, some of them heal you. I think you're just going to figure out ways to put this in, and it's going to be good. And the hero power that flips between Restore 5 and Deal 5 is obviously freaking good. Deal 5 being much better, but you're fine with that. It feels like a really good card to like fit into some sort of death rattle archetype. It's hard to say exactly what that deck looks like right now, but I think it's gonna be a thing. I feel like a 4 for Xyrella feels right. Najak Hexen. I went kind of on a roller coaster of emotions while trying to evaluate this one. At first I'm like, what the heck? It's like a worse Cabal Acolyte. But then I was like, wait, like, say you're playing Shadow Priest or something, and you just use this to get a taunt out of your way so you can do some slapping. And it's like, you don't even care. Your opponent has to focus down your 1/4 to get their taunt back. And if they don't, well, next turn you get to attack with their taunt. And if they're playing a board deck, they have to get through their own taunt to get to the 1/4. It can create really gross situations, actually. And there's also the application of silencing it, which is cute. I don't think you necessarily need to do that. It's just a really annoying, like Maiev, but way better, way better, because you make your opponent have to do something that they don't want to be doing in order to get their minion back, rather than it just dormants its way back in a couple of turns. It's super interesting and unique. I really like this card. I like it a lot. And it feels kind of like a 3, because it's definitely not good in every matchup. It's definitely not like ultra busted or something. But I think you're gonna play this in a deck or something. Maybe even like Inner Fire Priest. Like, this is your way to get some garbage out of your way and slam them for 6,000 billion trillion 48 damage. So Undying Disciple is pretty neat. It's just a really solid, like, fucking fat wall you throw in there against the board deck, and they're like, uh-oh, what do I do now? So, and it's crazy with Xyrella. You can revive it with the amulet or something. I'm not sure if that's the way to go, but it just has a lot of different applications. It's just good standalone. Feels like a 3. Shadow Word Devour. Choose a minion, steal 1 health from all other minions, including friendly minions. And now that we know Bless is in the game, this looks even crazier. And you can tutor this along with your Bless with your 5-mana fella, Spirit Guide. It'll kill some stuff or make stuff weaker to the point that I think it's great. I think it's really, really good. I like it. It's like an interesting, unique idea. I don't think it's a 4, but I do think it's a 3. I dig it. This is a sweet design, and I think it will be. It might be 4 just because of how it makes Bless even stupider sometimes. Holy crap! If your opponent has a bunch of minions out and you use this to get like 6 health on your thing, and then you Bless it and you're hitting them with like a 13/13 or something, I don't know. It's a potential to do some fucking filthy stuff. So we are at 32 minutes. I'm just going to do Rogue. Definitely some cards in here I have not seen. Contraband Stash. Replay 5 cards from other classes you've played this game. Are you kidding me? Wow. We have come a long way from Tess Greymane, haven't we? I need to look at the rest of the stuff. I can't rate that yet. If you're holding a card from another class, summon a copy of this. We are real. I did not think we were going this hard on Burgle. What is this thing? That is really good. Okay, we have to. Okay. Costs 1 less for each card you've added to your hand from another class. What is going on? They are pushing this hard. I thought it was just going to be some juicy meme garbage crap. But wait, you can't play these with Seraphine. So what are you even doing? What is the Burgle stuff? Swashbuckler and Lobotomizer? And Reconnaissance? You can't play this stuff. You can play this. I don't understand how you play these. Unless I'm forgetting some Burgle stuff. Because this card's horrible. There's no way, right? Okay, so I'll kind of just rate this whole package. Contraband Stash could be like a 3. That is good. You could get stupid amount of stuff, but it's also so slow. It's so slow. It's a 2. Double Agent. Am I missing something? It's a 1. Wild Paw and Knoll is a 1. Reconnaissance is a 2. Because it could synergize with Death Rattle stuff. I won't rate the Yeti yet. Lobotomizer's a 1. Seraphine is fun, but a 1. And that is the package. Wait, I did this out of order. Am I missing something? Because Seraphine replaces your minions, and this is the main way to get stuff from other classes. And so you cannot play these with just maybe you cannot play this with just like reconnaissance, swashbuckler, lobotomizer or something, right? You got to get this down to like 2 or 3 before you're happy about it. This is just good, but it's not enough of a payoff to play garbage like lobotomizer. I don't know what I'm missing here, but maybe it's support for something they will continue to tinker with. So, all right, let's just move on, I guess. Mr. Yeti is a really interesting one. I actually think this is really good. It's not flashy, but you can just coin this out, and it's really, really spooky. I mean, that's just a lot of stats for so early in the game. Like, you can just kind of start shitting all over the board with this. So for me, it's like literally your decks that run fraud and stuff like that, it's probably a 3. I don't think it's a 4 level, but I think this goes into stuff. I'm so sad this card sucks. Forsaken Lieutenant. So I really need to see like the neutrals, because clearly the Death Rattles did not come from the Rogue set. So hopefully there's some neat neutral Death Rattles. The card is nice. It's got the pieces it needs to be good, as long as there's Death Rattles that are good. Like the card itself is good, just needs Death Rattles. I guess I'll give it like a 3 for now. Snowfall Graveyard, similarly. Actually, no. No, that card sucks. That's a 1. Even in a Death Rattle deck, I don't want to run this, I don't think. Unless there's some Death Rattle that helps me win the game. Is there a fat Death Rattle in the neutral set that I'm going to discover? I don't know. Maybe I'll adjust this later. This is an icky set, but we got the big bad Scabby Dabby Doo. Here he is, ready to slice and dice and vanish and shadow some motherfuckers and then do some fucking innervates every goddamn turn. If you don't think this is a 5, I would love to hear why, because you are doing crazy stuff. You get 2 Jungle Panthers. You already play like Battle Master in freaking like Quest Rogue. I mean, this is just a sexy curve topper. You throw this in there. It gives Rogue an emergency exit button in the situations where your opponent beat you on board. It really didn't even need the 4/2 shadows, I think, to be reasonable, but that just makes it crazy. And this hero power is really good. You don't even care about your 1/2 weapon past like turn 4 usually in Rogue, so this is just great. This card is the nuts. The super duper nuts. So an average of 2 for Rogue. I really do not understand this Burgle set. Maybe there's something in the neutrals too that helps. I don't know. Priest definitely got something crazy and some really solid stuff in here. Paladin, some trash, but some really good stuff. And Mage, as we know, probably big spell Mage sucks. So, unless Rune of the Archmage carries it. So that's where we're at now. Next time, we will look at Shaman, Warlock, Warrior, and maybe just speed run the neutrals in the same video. I don't know. We're at 39 minutes, so that's good enough. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Goodbye. Blah, blah, blah.